Guys, welcome to the second video of this series. So today I'm going to work on the weapon equip as well as the weapon attacks. So that includes the sword and the gun. Actually, so I've gone ahead and I've created folders for animations gun, idle walk run, same with the sword, idle walk run, as well as should be 4 attacks. Oh right, yeah, there's 4 attack animations. So there's idle walk, attack 1, 2, 3, 4, and I also need to get some attack animations for when no weapons are equipped. So let me just get that real quick. I've got the attacks now. So I got back kick left, back kick right, and I got 2 haymaker animations. So I have to remember to, for the gun and the sword, anything that is whenever it's like an idle run or walk, they have to be constantly looping. So I need to set it to looping for each of them. On the right hand side in the inspector, make sure you have animation selected. Click on loop time and then apply. And the same thing with the sword. So the first 4 attacks, and then for idle and for walk as well. And for run, I'm just going to use the regular run. Okay, so with that done, I'm just going to hop into the animator. And first of all, I'm going to create 2 variables. The first one is going to be a float. I'm going to call it equip number with the default value at 0. And I want to create a trigger. Call it attack. So so equip number, things happen based on what the numerical value is. Attack happens once. As soon as this trigger is activated, it does an action, but then it bounces back to like this false state. So right now I'm in this blend tree. I need to go back to the base layer, and I'm going to create, right click, create from new blend tree, and I want to give this a name so I can differentiate it from the others. This one's going to be sword, and I'll create another one called gun. So how this is going to work is, from the first one, I'm going to make transition. I want to make, so basically you select it, right click on it, make transition. I want to make like a loop. So when I click on this, I'm going to uncheck has exit time. When you go down here, has conditions. So I'm going to get from the drop down equip number, and equip number, actually, you know what, I am going to delete this. I want to create an integer, call it equip number. I forgot that, okay, again with has exit time deselected, I need to get equip number again. This time I can get equals float doesn't have an equal option. So when this equals 1, it goes here, it goes to let these names switch. So that's sword. This one's gun. Okay. So by default, equip number is 0. If it gets set to 1, then it goes to sword. If this, again, uncheck has exit time. When this gets set to 2, then it goes to gun, and then here, same thing, equip number, except when this is set to 0, then it goes back to no equip. So I'm going to double click on the one tree, and I'm going to create 3 motion fields. So for the idle, so Unity lists all the animations, but in order to get the actual animation, you have to look down here, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So I need to look for sword idle. I'm not sure if it's Unity or if I named all these wrong in Blender. It could be me. I don't want to blame Unity. Where are you? There it is, sword idle. Sword walk. And then for run, I'm just going to use the, if I can find it, oh, there we go, the regular run. So if I press play, so you can see 0 is idle, 0.5 is walk, and then 1 is run. Stop that. I'm going to put a gun, double click, select the blend tree, 3 motion fields. The first one is gun idle. Walk. And run. Okay, that's good for now. Okay, so with that done, first I have to add some of the weapons. So in order to do this, if you watch my Unreal series, you would know that you have to create sockets in order to parent objects to the skeletal mesh, but it's different here. So we need weapons attached. We're going to attach it to the chest, so I'll have this open. And then we're going to have the weapons attached to the right wrist. So in order to get that, clavicle right, and under wrist right, that's where the weapons are going to be. So for models, I also imported the gun and the sword. So I need to scale this down. There's a copy and paste. So the first sword is going to be on chest. So I'm just going to drag that. Where's the chest? Okay, I see it. So, put it right here. So if I open and close the chest, it's right there. And this one, I'm just going to rotate this way. Just going to try and align the edge of it with the knuckles. And that looks okay. Oh, I'll have to bring it up more. Looks about right. And then I'll parent that to the wrist. But this one by default is going to be invisible, so I'm going to uncheck it here. That means it's not activated. And I have to do the same thing with the gun now. So again, this is too big. I think it's half the size. That's about right. And just copy and paste. Oops. Okay, so I'll attach that to the chest. Oops, wrong one. And then this gun is going to go to align the trigger with the index finger and then bring it to the knuckles. And I'm going to align that, I'm going to parent it to the wrist. And again, I'm going to check this to deactivate it. With that done, I'm going to do some quick scripting now. So I'm going to open up the scripts. Okay. So I'm going to start off by creating some variables. So the first one is bool. Bool is aiming equals false. Float. Actually, this has to be integer int. Well, this could be a float. Float. Equip number equals 0. And I want to create public game object sword underscore back. Paste these 3 times. The second one is going to be gun back. Third one's going to be sword hand. And the last one's going to be gun hand. So these are these are going to create fields in the editor and the inspector, and I'm going to dump these in when I'm done this. So with that done, I'm going to go into the update. And we create condition if input dot get mouse button down 2. So if so 2 is the middle mouse button. If that's being pressed, then I'm going to create 3 more conditions. Oops. So it's going to check when the middle mouse button is pressed down, it's going to check if equip number is equal to 0, which is the default value. If not, then it's going to check if its equip number is equal to 1. And if not, then it's going to check if it's equal to 2. And if it's equal to 1, then it's going to equip number. It's going to set the equip number to 1. It's going to set the animator set int to oops. Okay, so it's going to set the equip number to 1. In the animator, it's going to set the integer equip number to 1. And then for both the true. Back dot set active true. Sorting the gun in the hands. Oops. These will be set to false. So these are the these weapons here. So I'm gonna copy and paste these into the other conditions. So if equip number is 1, then it's going to be set to 2. Equip number is going to be in the animator. The equip number is going to be 2. Is aiming is still false. Sword in the back is false. And sword in the hand is true. If equip number equals 2, then we're going to set the equip number to 0, so it loops back. Equip number in the animator is going to be 0. Is aiming here is true. So the gun in the back is false. And gun in the hand is true. One last thing that I want to add before I try this out is, so I'm just going to add a little statement here. When you do 2 front slashes, it turns to green, and that means it's not part of the code. So if you want something like a note, if you want to make a note for yourself, I'm going to make a note saying that the following script is for rotates player forward and aim. So depending on where the mouse is pointing, it's going to the character is constantly going to point forward, and if is aiming equals true, transform rotation equals quaternion dot Euler bracket 0 camera rig dot transform dot Euler angles dot y comma 0. Okay, I'm just gonna save that. It's gonna take a second to compile. Okay, so if I hit play, okay. So as before, I'm can spin the mouse around, I can move around, I can run, but as soon as I hit the middle mouse button, problem here. First problem, scales up with the sword. Okay, and it's okay. I'm going to check that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've solved the scaling issue. I just went into Blender and I basically just scaled down the enemy or the models. So now they're all good. Another thing that I forgot to do is I need to go into select the female warrior, and remember I created 4 fields in the script. These 4 here. So now I need to dump the swords into these fields. So the weapons on the chest, which is sword back, gun back, and then sword in hand, gun in hand. And what else? One other thing that I did wrong was I put the true here, and these 2 are false. It was actually this one that was supposed to be true. As soon as if the middle mouse button is pressed, then equip number. If the middle mouse button is pressed and equip number is 1, then equip number should be set to 2. And if that's set to 2, that means the gun is equipped. And it's only when the gun is equipped that aiming is true. And when the aiming is true, that's when the character only rotates facing forward, no matter what. So if I go in and play, everything's all good. As soon as I press the equip button, which is the middle mouse button, oh, the sword doesn't show up. What's wrong here? I know. If equip number equals 0, then set it to 1. If it's 1, that means the sword is equipped. So the sword on the back is false. And the sword in the hand is true. If equip number equals 1 and the button's pressed, that means equip number equals 2. So sword on the back is true. On the back is false. The sword in the hand is false. And gun in the hand is true. So for the last one, if equip number equals 2 and the button is pressed, that means equip number gets set to 0, which means no weapons in the hands. So that means both weapons on the back are true, and both weapons in the hands are false. Okay, let's try that now. press play. Everything's good as usual. Press the middle mouse button. And the sword is equipped. I can run. I can walk. And I press it again. Now the gun is equipped, but every time I rotate now, the character remains facing forward. So as you can see by my shadow, I'm rotating around. But this the sun position doesn't change, so my shadow doesn't change its direction. If I press it once more, okay, good. It's all done. Okay, I'm going to hop back into Visual Studio, and I want to add some more to the script. First, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to add more variables. So bool is firing is set to false. Public float time between shots equals 0.1f. So it's a public float, which means it can be set in the editor, in the inspector, but I'm going to set it now. I'll just leave it as a public so that I can have the option of changing it later on if I want. But right now, the time between gunshots is going to be 0.1 seconds. And I'm going to create a private float called shot counter. Okay. So back in the update, right below this part, I'm going to put if input dot get mouse button down 0, which is the left mouse button. If that's pressed, and I'm going to do another if statement. If equip number equals 0, or, so these two lines, that means an or, equip number equals 1, then I'm going to set animator dot set trigger attack. So if you remember, I set the I created that trigger here for attack. So I'm going to use that a little bit later. I'm going to leave that for now. Right below that. So this is what's going to happen whenever the sword is equipped and the left mouse button is pressed. Then the character is going to swing the sword. If there's nothing equipped, then the player is going to throw punches and kicks. So right below this, I need to create if is firing equals true. And right below that, I'll create an else if is firing equals false. Okay, so this is set. Alright, so here the equip number equals 2. Then is firing equals true. Over here is firing equals false. So if the left mouse button is pressed and equip number is 0 or 1, then it's going to do melee attacks. If the button is pressed but the equip number is 2 is true, no, sorry, if the equip number equals 2, then is firing is true, as to where here is firing equals false. So if firing equals true, then shot counter minus equals time dot delta time, but we haven't specified the value of it yet. So if counter smaller or equal to 0, so shot counter is constantly deducting an amount based on time dot delta time, but if at some point it goes below the value of 0, if it's equal or below, then shot counter will be set to the time between shots, value, which is what we set to 0.1. And after it's set to 0.1, it keeps on doing this. And as soon as it's at a value at 0 or less, then it's going to trigger this method. In this method, we're going to create down here first of all, we need to create another variable, public camera first person shooter cam. Back down here in the so down here we're calling the shoot method void okay, so the shoot method is only being called when firing is true and the shot counter value is smaller or equal to 0. And if that's the case, as this is being triggered, I'm going to create a raycast hit. We're going to give it a name hit. if so, raycast is the same thing as ray trace in Unreal. It's basically like, I think the best analogy is like a laser that goes from one point straight forward. So in this case, it's going to start from the player camera and it's going to go straight forward into the screen. This is basically what's going to be used to detect enemies while the player is shooting in third person mode. This is the exact same thing that's used in first person as well. Physics.raycast. So first person cam is the variable that we just created. Transform dot position, comma, first person cam transform dot forward out hit range. I forgot one thing. I'm just going to go into my other script. So going back down here, this range is underlined in red. The reason is because I didn't create the variable for it yet. So the public float range equals, say 10,000. That's a nice big number. So this part is not going to be used right now. I'm just going to leave it there. This is going to be used for I'm going to add like enemies. Like as I create enemies, I'm going to, like, this thing is going to expand with like a list of enemies. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the coding. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Actually, I think that was long enough. Yeah, so for the next video, I'm going to do some attack animations, because we've got 4 different animations for the sword, as well as when there's no weapon equipped. And I'm also going to introduce a dummy enemy so that you can start taking some hits and you can see all these attacks in action. Okay, so thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video.